I don't know if I would call this a silk press. We'll see what I put in the title, because like, I don't want the warriors in my comments talking about this isn't a silk press, this is a cotton press. Hey y'all, I am sick, but this hair needs to be done, and I'm gonna press my hair this week. I've already prepped it, so I can't really turn back now, but I apologize if I sound a little funky. I'm not like a silk press queen or none of those things. I don't really do silk presses like that, but I want to actually participate this year. I'm using the Design Essentials silk press line, and last night I just used my Rev Air on my hair, and as you can see, the roots aren't like as flat or as straight as I want it. So I am going to go over my hair with my Dyson, just using the Design Essentials like heat protector. And then I'm also gonna use a little bit of my Color Wow, and then we can get into pressing this hair in totality.
So I'm just working in the same sections that I originally had for my hair and just using the tension method to get my roots a little bit straighter. So I am using high heat for this, which is why I applied a little bit more heat protectant, and then I am just using my Denman brush to go through these sections, mainly just so that it's a little bit straighter. That means that I don't need to turn up the heat as high. And then towards the front, you'll see I'm just really making sure that I get my roots, because I do not have a hot comb, and so I will not be touching up like my hairline, and so I'm just really making sure that those roots are straight so that I don't have to use as much heat on my roots.
Okay, so you can just see on this side, I just kind of like touched up my roots a little bit more compared to this side, which I still have left to do. And then we can get to pressing my hair. I'm already getting hot, so I'm going to need to open a window.
So let's get to pressing this hair. So I'm just going to be using my T3 straightener, and then a little bit of the Chi heat protectant, and then the serum that comes with the Design Essentials line. And I'm just really making sure that this is well dispersed throughout my hair just before I get started. So I'm taking my brush just to make sure that it's really well distributed. So to straighten my hair, I am going to be using the chase method, which just means that I am combing through a small section with my rat tail comb in small sections, and just following that up with the straightener. I'm going pretty slow as I do this because I am trying to avoid doing more than one pass, just to make sure that I don't have a ton of heat damage. That's really what I try to avoid when I press my hair. I will not keep my hair pressed for a very long time. In fact, I don't even think I made it to 2 weeks with my hair straightened this time around, because I just get bored with it. But I am making sure that I am touching up the roots, and when I am working in this back section of my hair, I am using the temperature of around like 400 degrees. This straightener is very old, so I have had this for probably at least 8 years, and there aren't any heat settings on it that are correlated with temperature. So it's like the third or like the fifth dial, third, fourth, fifth dial. It's like around there, and I looked that up online to get the conversion. So the temperature that I'm working with is 400 degrees. I do not go higher than 400 degrees on my hair. I believe it's above 400 or at like 450 where your hair actually starts to burn, and so I try to avoid that as much as possible.
Okay, y'all, we have done the back, and this side too. They aren't like symmetrical in terms of the way I'm like bumping it. As I mentioned, I'm not like a silk press master. I think I'm doing okay. Now that I've moved up to like the top of my head, I'm actually going to like decrease the temperature slightly, just because I have like a looser hair texture at the top of my front, and or at least like at the front of my hair. And last time I straightened my hair, I ended up getting heat damage, so I'm a little bit sensitive, so I gotta lock in. And I apologize if you can hear the, like, they're doing construction or like yard work at my apartment, but when I'm working with hot tools, I get nervous and I sweat, and that's like the enemy of like a silk press. And I even remember as a kid, like going in to get my hair pressed, and I would be so nervous when she would take that hot comb that I would literally be sweating out my hair as she was doing it. So I didn't want to take any chances.
So as I mentioned, I am definitely trying to avoid any type of heat damage. So now that I am towards the front part of my hair, I've actually decreased the temperature to around, like, I would say like 350 to 380. And I'm not going for like the silkiest look possible. I am trying to get my hair straight while also keeping the integrity of my curls. So I personally would not call this a silk press. I am just straightening my hair. If I wanted a very silky look, I would need to go hotter, which I wasn't willing to do. Side note, my curls did revert. There was one section of my hair that already had like a little bit of damage, and so that one loosened up a little bit, but other than that, my curls fully reverted and I had no issues. So I was really happy with this. I was able to get my hair straight without causing any damage, and like I mentioned, it lasts like around 2 weeks for me, which is plenty. And when I'm doing my hair, I'm working at like a 45-degree angle with the flat iron. That way I have like a very slight bump, which is ironic because I remember like growing up, you would always avoid having the stylist like bump your hair because it would make it shorter. But I added a bump to my hair because, as I mentioned, I really like volume. So I am just going throughout my hair, working in those really small sections and making sure that I am also just keeping it like really tight, but not squeezing too much. If you squeeze too much with your flattener, you can, or with your straightener, you can risk like pulling out hair. So you'll just want to make sure that you're keeping a consistent tension and speed as you're doing your hair so that you have uniform results. Also, Happy New Year, everyone. I had wanted to stay on like schedule and try to get my videos out at least once a week, but between traveling and then my surgery, it just did not happen. So I think I mentioned in my previous video that I went back to California for the holidays and I got sick on my way back. And then I was just like coming out of it, and then I had all 4 wisdom teeth removed, which actually were not that bad. I talked to a lot of people before getting my wisdom teeth out, and they all said like, oh, you like need to take off at least like 2 weeks, and you can't do this and you can't do that, and you'll need somebody to take care of you and all of the things. I was in pain that first day and obviously used the medication prescribed. And then that second day, I was fine. I just used ibuprofen to manage my pain levels, and I was like active and doing things by day like 3 or 4. Like I worked right after my surgery, in fact, not the day of, but the rest of the week. So I did not have any issues. A lot of people were also like, because you're not in high school, you may not bounce back. Let's be respectful. I am only 27. So I didn't have any issues. If you are scared about getting your wisdom teeth out or you've continued to push it off like I was, it actually wasn't that bad. But after I did get my wisdom teeth back, I was home for about a week, and then I flew home, and then I got sick again. So it really was just hard for me to balance editing my videos and also working while being sick. So I do apologize that this video is delayed. I already have recorded a bunch of other videos. It's really just the editing for me with my work schedule, but I am going to try to be more consistent in 2026. So I hope everyone is also having a really great start to the new year. I've made a couple of resolutions this year, mainly just improving my relationship with God, strengthening that, getting closer to that. I know my friends and I are going to start up our Bible studies again, which I'm really excited for. Other than that, work is pretty normal. I got like one exciting kind of like purchase at the end of the year to reward myself for my performance reviews, and other than that, things are going really swimmingly. So if there are any hairstyles that y'all are interested in seeing this year, please let me know. I want to play around more. But yeah, I will close out this video and hope everyone is doing well.
This side looks better than this side, and I think it's because I turned down the heat, so I'm gonna touch this up. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on my hands, wrap it, and then I will like close this out. Alrighty, y'all, let's unbox this hair. Also, I cannot do like the swirl around thing with my hair. So this is the best that I can do with it. And typically I also like put my hair in like flexi rods instead so that it's curly, but let's see how it's looking. Alrighty, y'all, this is how my hair is looking. It probably could be like silkier, but I like lean on the side of caution when it comes to pressing my hair at home because I don't do it a ton, but I'm pretty happy with it and we will see how it holds up. I probably will not keep it like straight for that long. I'll probably put like flexi rods in it. And if I do decide to do that tonight, I will record it as well. But yeah, this is how the hair is looking. So I don't know if I would call this a silk press. We'll see what I put in the title because like I don't want the warriors in my comments talking about this isn't a silk press, this is a cotton press. So like I don't need that, but I'm happy with it. So I'll see y'all next week.